Many foreigners arrive to the Dominican Republic believing that it is a poor or third world country. But once they spend time here, that assumption starts to fall apart because they see people who own their own homes, they own businesses, they go out and socialize, they enjoy life, and many of them live stress free or with less stress than people who earn more money in the United States. So this video, I want to explore why foreigners often misunderstand poverty, how income is confused with well-being, and why places like the Dominican Republic expose flaws in how we define success, money, and quality of life. So it's not about romanticizing or criticizing any country. It's just about noticing an outlook or perspective that doesn't really work anymore. So there's a strong contradiction that happens when people look at the Dominican Republic. For a lot of foreigners, they think that it's poor. But at the same time, many of those same foreigners are trying to move here because life back home feels unaffordable. And that contradiction tells you something very important. That is not about the Dominican Republic, but about how we define poverty in the first place. So I know that something feels off lately because you have people who are working more than they used to. Paychecks come in, and somehow those paychecks disappear faster than they used to before. The rent goes up, groceries goes up, gas goes up, and nobody feels like they're getting ahead, even when they're doing everything right. And when life starts feeling like that, people tend to look outward. We compare, we judge, we simplify entire countries into single words like poor or third world without really noticing what we're trying to protect ourselves from. Because if another country is poor, then maybe our struggle still means progress. So when a lot of foreigners come to Dominican Republic, they arrive here with an idea already in their mind. They expect to see struggle. They expect to see desperation. They expect to see people barely getting by. But they're surprised when they see cars everywhere. And not just old cars, but new ones, luxury ones, sometimes exotic ones. You might see Porsches and Lambos and Mercedes-Benz. And they're surprised when they see people who own their homes outright. They don't pay rent, they don't pay a mortgage. Some have homes that are passed down that were built slowly and then paid off a long time ago. And they're surprised when they see businesses everywhere. Small shops, restaurants, salons, car repair shops. People working, yes, but not panicked. They're surprised when they see people out every day eating, talking, laughing, and just living their life. And when people see that, something inside them starts to feel uncomfortable. Now, I say that because it doesn't match the story that they were told. In their mind, poverty was supposed to look different. It was supposed to look heavier or more desperate or more hopeless. But instead, they saw something else. They saw people who don't make dollars, but they don't seem to be trapped by life. They seen people who earn less on paper, but somehow seem to live their life more fully. And that creates like a mental tension. Because if this place is poor, then why does it feel like life is lighter? And that's where the confusion starts for people. Because often foreigners, they measure wealth just by income alone, by how much money someone makes each month. But income doesn't tell the full story. It really never has. What matters is not how much you make. What matters is what your money actually gets you, what it buys, what it protects you from, what it allows you to avoid. And this is where the Dominican Republic breaks the frame that most foreigners have and Americans, that the frame that they have. In many parts of the Dominican Republic, people live different. Not better, not worse, just different. Housing is often owned, not rented. Families live close, sometimes together. Costs are shared instead of isolated. Food is simpler, more local, less processed. The meals are social, not rushed. Eating out is normal and not some type of luxury event. Transportation is flexible. You got motorcycles, public cars, buses. You don't need to own a brand new vehicle to function in society. Entertainment is not subscription based. It's conversation, it's music, it's presence, it's community. You can go outside to your local colmado and you can listen to music there and just enjoy your time. And stress, even though it still exists, it doesn't build on you the same way as it does in foreign countries. Now, I'm going to say something that most people and even travel creators don't say out loud. Many foreigners and even Americans who label places like the Dominican Republic as poor are doing so while they can't even afford their own expenses in their home country. They have rent that resets every year, insurance for everything, they're knee-deep in debt, their convenience costs are going up and they pay it like it's a necessity. They're earning more money, but they're constantly dishing out that same money that they're earning. So when they arrive in a place where people earn less money but keep more of their life intact, I know their mind struggles to categorize it. Because if those people are poor, what does that make you? So this is where this mental break starts to happen. Because poverty is not just about money. It's about how fragile your life is. How easy your life collapses if something goes wrong. How little margin you actually have. Because there are people making a lot of money, very high incomes, who are one missed paycheck away from panic. And there are people making modest incomes who are not. And that doesn't fit into the old definition. And when people encounter this mismatch, they usually respond in one of a few predictable ways. Not identities or personalities, just patterns. Some people double down on it and they say, well, they're still poor by American standards because they don't make dollars. These kind of people, they retreat into metrics. They cling to numbers because numbers feel safe. If GDP says something, then they don't have to question their own exhaustion. Others romanticize it. They say, everyone's happy here, life is just perfect. They flatten reality in the opposite direction, and they turn a complex lifestyle into a fantasy. And then there are people who just go quiet. They stop talking so much. They start noticing small things. They feel something shift internally, but they don't rush to name it. Those are usually the ones who start asking different questions later. So here's the mental frame that changes everything when it comes to this topic. Being poor is not the same as living simply, and making dollars is not the same as having security. Money is only meaningful in context. What does it buy you? What does it shield you from? What does it cost you to maintain? If your entire income goes towards survival, stability, and dealing with your own anxiety, then the number itself becomes almost irrelevant. That's why so many foreigners and Americans are drawn to places like the Dominican Republic, even while they still call it poor. Because something here feels like what life used to feel like before everything became optimized and monetized and fragile. Before comfort turned into dependency, before success became something you had to constantly defend. They're not running toward luxury, they're running towards relief, a break. Now, none of this means that the Dominican Republic is perfect, because it's not, obviously. And none of this means that the United States or other countries are broken beyond repair, because they're not. But it does suggest something deeper. And what that suggests is that maybe we confused income with well-being and something more complex with progress. And once you get a mental picture of that and see it in your mind, it's something that you'll never forget, because you start noticing who looks relaxed, who owns their time, who actually enjoys their days. And not by how much they make, but by how lightly they carry their life. And that question lingers longer than any answer does.